This is author Nathaniel Garrett Novosel, and here we're going to talk about why there's no grand meaning revealed at the end of life. So, a lot of people wonder why purpose doesn't culminate or present a grand reveal at the end of life. Why, they might ask, does the end of life seem anti-climactic and devoid of meaning? Well, the answer is, other than the fact that life doesn't work like a movie, which is where that whole, or story, which is where that whole fallacy came from, the answer is pretty straightforward. The meaning of life is to grow, and so when your life is ending, you stop growing. People will debate what happens when you die, and as usual, we're going to just assume for the sake of argument that it's one of two things. You're either gone forever in the atheistic view, or you go somewhere else in a non-physical form in pretty much every theistic belief system. For the purposes of our conversations, as always, we assume one of those two is true, and if you have a third option, that's fine too. We're just letting you know that we're not holding a dog in that fight of the cause of life. So it's possible for you to continue in a growing, in a non-physical form in that case, or return later in a new physical form to continue that growth as a new organism if reincarnation, there we go. So reincarnation, those kinds of things, those are all possible, and those are all options for different belief systems, or nothing happens. But in any case, the meaning of life is growth, so that big realization or whatever won't occur at the end magically, but it'll be in the activities you perform throughout your lifetime. Again, regardless if you die, nothing happens, you go in and you're just part of dirt or whatever, part of the dirt, just kind of become meal for worms, as they said in the Woke Up This Morning song. If that happens, still your point of life is growth, because you reproduce, and then your kids carry on your DNA. So you're still alive through them. And so their goal is growth. Your goal was growth, and it's over for you, and it's there for the next generation. So regardless, that's the point. So the point was the journey. The point was the growth. The point was what you did in life. So it's not all leading up to some grand Big Bang finale. But if you want to work this question out for yourself, here are a couple of fun exercises that will help you see how your sense of meaning, purpose, and accomplishment are derived, and it's not from the big grand finale. So first exercise, watch the last 5 to 10 minutes of a movie you've never seen before. Preferably one of the best, not one of the best ever made, or something that you don't mind rooting for yourself, or one of the best movie ever made that you don't mind ruining for yourself, and see if that ending has any significance for you or to you. In other words, if you feel anything. And here's the reality: you won't give a rip about what happens. Why? Because you didn't see the journey leading up to the outcome. So, if everyone dies at the end, in the famous joke about what happens in movies when you spoil them, you won't care about a single person who died, because you don't know any of them. And it's a movie. You know they didn't really die. Unless it was like, Schindler's List or something. It was like a movie where people, as a based on a true story. But you won't care, because you didn't see the journey. There's no meaning, significance, or anything, because you don't care. You didn't invest the 2 hours to actually watch the movie. You can do the same thing with books as well, right? You can read a book, read the last 3 pages, oh, so-and-so did it, the end. Okay, so what? Who cares? Interesting, but not significant. So for your life, the meaning at the end will just be that you can look back on what you did of significance that brought you there. It's not the end. So the movie's ending, while it might be huge and profound and amazing when you watch the whole movie, if you just watch the last few minutes, it won't mean anything to you, because you wouldn't have had the journey. So when you get older, when you're looking on your deathbed, you're looking back in your life, why do you think everybody says, oh, I wish I spent more time with family, I wish I did this, I wish I did that? It's because they wish they would have lived more and grown more and had more experiences. But when they look back and had a meaningful life, oh, I had a good family, I had this or I had that, when they had fulfillment, they're not sitting there going, oh, I wish there would have been some giant climax at the end where I was like, falling off a building and, doing 5 flips and shooting Hitler and all this other stuff. Like, no, they lived their life. Their life was life. That was the point. So, like, don't let the movies or books, don't get me wrong, good stories, great, helps your memory and helps keep you engaged, helps you learn things and so forth. But just try it once. I mean, again, don't do it with a movie you actually want to watch or a book you actually want to know the don't want to spoil the ending to. But just watch the last few minutes of the movie and watch about how you don't care about anything going on. And you just realize that, the big meanings and climaxes and big outcomes only matter when I went on the journey. Same thing with like sports scores and things. Like if you love your team, you might care what the score is, but you won't feel any attachment to that game unless you watch the whole game. You have the ups and downs, and then your team won in the last minute and blah blah blah. That's when you really care about it. But it's, it was a good score. It's one of the greatest games ever. But I didn't really feel anything about it because I didn't see it. Right? I didn't see it live. So try that, and you'll realize quickly that no grand reveal at the end of life is going to really be a big deal. Although, if you do cross over into some non-physical thing and blah, and, I will tell you this. Pretty much every belief, I've read all these philosophies about this stuff. People cross over, what is it, like whether you die and you get, a million virgins or whatever, or you get, eternal bliss or, heaven or hell or whatever it is based on your morality and in this life. Pretty much, let's just stick with the good stuff and not stick with any eternal punishment for the sake of this. They'll always say, you die and then you realize what really matters, and none of it mattered, and it was everything's wonderful and beautiful and amazing. So eternal bliss or whatever for, you have this pure positive energy, as some people call it, right? Okay, great. So, you're still here to do something, right? So you're here to grow, you're here to live, you're here to thrive. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that. But obviously people do, right? The instinct to continue living is the strongest force in life. And so, you definitely, even if there is some sort of amazing thing that happens after you die, it doesn't mean that there's like some grand meaning of life. The meaning was living it. That was the point. The point was to live it. So if you're not living your life, if you're waiting on the sidelines, waiting for something great to happen, or waiting for an outcome, or waiting for something to happen before you can do something, don't live. Whatever living means to you. If it means like, falling in love or getting that job you really wanted, or if it means, going bungee jumping, whatever it means to live for you, that's the point of life. So is to live. I know that's kind of great insight there, but no, it's to grow. It's to have experiences. It's to be a better person, to be a better version of yourself every day. Last 5 minutes, grand reveal, doesn't matter. Secondly, imagine how pissed off you would be if you spent your whole life working toward goals or accomplishments that you thought were significant, only to have an angel of death come to you and say, it was really something completely different. What a waste of life you had. Yeah, you'd be pretty pissed. You'd immediately, to paraphrase Adam Sandler in The Wedding Singer, shout, something you could have brought to my attention yesterday. Or have them say, you see, you should have taken, or if they would have said, you see, you should have taken away these lessons from life, you would have said instead, that's weird, I took, something else away from them, right? So those two exercises will prove to you that, like, there's no grand big reveal at the end. Oh, you should have done this. Otherwise, you would have found out earlier, right? I mean, that's just dumb. There's no big climax because you're old and your body's kind of going south at the end there. There's no grand thing. If you do die and become pure positive energy or go to heaven or whatever it is, great. Okay, then your point here was to live, right? And if you feel like you need to live ethically to achieve that afterlife goal, yeah, do it. Why? I mean, I've never heard of someone saying, I killed someone, it was a wonderful experience, I would do it again, 5 stars, so like you're not really missing anything, okay? Not really missing anything from living ethically. I mean, let's be honest here. People who commit do bad things are because they're mad and they hate the world and think everyone's against them and so forth, and they think that they're entitled to hurt someone because someone hurt them. That's it. There's no one goes, I am a fulfilled, wonderful person, and therefore I want to kill someone. Like, no, never happens. So it's obviously not some big reveal at the end. Living ethically isn't some grand sacrifice necessarily. Taking things from people or killing them or hurting them is not some huge sacrifice. Just don't do it. And then no one's going to come at the end and go, oh, you should learn this, because like life is the point, living is the point, experience is the point, growth is the point. And meeting in your life is going to be unique to you and something you give to your life by caring about what it is you're doing. It won't magically come to you at the end because it's something that you give to yourself throughout your life with your thoughts, your words, your decisions, your actions. And if you choose to have meaning, you will have it. So don't worry about the grand reveal. You're always welcome to get more answers and learn about what you really want to do with your life and how you want to live your life. And you can even get insights at the end about how to spend your final days. That's all well and good. But just remember, no matter what those are that you find, and they could be anything, they're going to be growth-centric, enabling someone else's growth or your own personal growth. They're going to be about making the world a better place or making someone else's life better or making your own life better. They're going to be growth-centric. They're not going to be some crazy thing that, I wish I would have figured this out years ago. And so, I don't have time to get my real purpose out. If you find ways to live and grow and thrive as a human being, you'll be fine, and you won't find at the end, I missed out on something. So you'll be okay. Best of luck, and I hope that this assuages any fears you have around, hoping there's some sort of big reveal you're going to miss out on when you die, or when you're near death, because I promise you, other than things, you can look up the psychology on it, but most people cite, I wish I would have spent more time with family, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that. But it's usually like growth oriented, right? I wish I would really attain my goals of doing this, or I wish I would have spent more time with family, or I wish I would have noticed that this wasn't a big deal, it's actually this other thing. And usually this other thing is always about living, growing, thriving, doing what really matters to you and not worrying what other people care about. So remember that's the grand insight you can take from life, and you don't have to get it or wait till the end to get it. You can get that now, and I hope you find it and live the life of growth and thriving that matters to you.